Hi, welcome to my channel. So in the last video, I forgot to mention to you guys that you can also call me the good hair shepherd because I'll take good care of your hair and I'll help you see the improvement you've been wanting to see for the longest time. So in this video, we'll be talking about hair porosity. I will teach you the meaning of hair porosities. I'll tell you the types, their characteristics, and how you can take care of each of these porosities. So let's get into the video. On the topic hair porosity, hair plus porosity. Those are two different words. And we'll be starting with porosity. First, what does it mean for something to be porous? It means to be full of pores. And pores could also be seen as holes. So it means to be full of holes. It means to allow the passage in and out. Then porosity on the other hand means the ability to absorb moisture. So when you add hair to porosity, it's the ability of hair to absorb moisture. Hair porosity is mostly genetic, but it can be changed by external factors such as chemical processing, dyeing, heat, bleaching, and the sort. Hair porosity can also be determined by how long your hair retains moisture. Does it stay for a while or does it just dry up quickly? This is where we go into the types of hair porosity. So there are three different types of hair porosity. We have the low porosity, the medium porosity, and the high porosity. We'll be starting from the low porosity. Low porosity, just like the name goes, has really small pores. Really small pores that doesn't allow moisture to go in. So it's really difficult to get moisture into low porosity hair. Some of its characteristics are one, water or liquids tend to stay on the hair. It doesn't go in, like you could see the droplets of water on your hair. Two, it's hard for water to saturate your hair. When you want to wash your hair and you pour water on your hair, it just falls off. It doesn't go in at all. I don't know if you're in that position, but if you are in that position, then you have low porosity hair. And then three, it takes a really long time for your hair to dry if it eventually gets water or any liquid into it. Low porosity hair tends to be dry and frizzy. Medium porosity hair, just like the name goes, the pores are a little bigger than that of the low porosity hair. So it's relatively easier for the hair to absorb moisture and also retain it. Some of the characteristics of medium porosity hair are one, your hair is easy to style and it holds styles. Two, there is minimal breakage in this type of porosity or hair. Not like it doesn't break, but it doesn't break as much as low porosity and high porosity. Three, your hair retains moisture to an extent. Four, it doesn't take too long to air dry. Five, it tends to look healthy and shiny. Since the pores of medium porosity hair are a little bigger than that of the low porosity hair, it actually takes some time to absorb moisture. Unlike low porosity hair that doesn't absorb moisture, medium porosity hair absorb moisture but it takes a little time. For example, if you spray water on your hair, you see the droplets of water on your hair, but give it a little time, it will go in, unlike that of the low porosity hair. Now for high porosity hair. In this type of porosity of hair, the pores are widely spaced. Some of its characteristics are one, it absorbs moisture really quickly. Two, it does not retain moisture. Three, it tends to look dry and frizzy. Four, it breaks a lot. So I'll be teaching you how to take care of these different kinds of porosities. First of all, the thing about hair is it needs sebum to grow. And for black hair particularly, we do not produce enough sebum for our hair to grow easily because our hair requires moisture for the hairs to come out of the hair follicles easy. I'll be starting with high porosity because I'm a high porosity girl and it's easier to talk from experience, right? Yeah. For high porosity hair, I just have to tell you that high porosity hair loves oils and butters. I'm really talking from experience. At the time, I did not know anything about high porosity, low porosity. I mean, I've been seeing it online, but I still hadn't understood it. Yeah, so I didn't pay attention to it. But I used all my products at once. I don't know why I did that. I just did it, and that simple thing that I did really changed my hair game. So, if you want to moisturize your high porosity hair, how I moisturize mine is I use the LOC method, which is liquid, oils, and cream, and it has worked for me. Yeah, so if you want to use your liquids, you could either use water or leave-in conditioner. At the time I used both. I'll first spray my water into my hair, then I'll put in my leave-in conditioner. You could use either of them. I just liked using everything at the time. Then you use your oils. So I had olive oil, coconut oil, shea butter at the time. So I used all three of them. But you could use either of the oils. You can use either one, any oil that you have actually, any oil that is good for the scalp. You could also use rosemary oil. Then I'll use my hair cream to top it all off. And I was using TCB hair cream at the time. I still use TCB hair cream. I just really like it. And then I would massage it into my scalp. Yes, so I did it 4 times in a week. That's because my hair dries exceedingly fast, like really fast. So to keep my hair moisturized, to keep it in check, I do it at least 4 times a week. I could do it 3 times a week too. Anytime I had free space, I'll do it. And I also do it in sections. I did not do it as a whole because I have really full hair. And even if you do have scanty hair, it would be advisable to do it in sections so the moisture can go into every part of your hair. And make sure to massage it in. That is a very important part. Massaging the scalp, extra tip, massaging the scalp helps with blood flow that increases or promotes hair growth. Now for medium porosity hair. Medium porosity hair has bigger pores, as I already said, but like I said, it's not as big as high porosity hair, right? So it takes actually a little while for the moisture to go in, but it is still better than low porosity hair. For medium porosity girls, I would advise that you moisturize your hair in this way. Now, if you already know how to moisturize your hair, that's really cool. This is for those that don't actually know how to moisturize their hair, right? Yeah, so I would advise that you wear a shower cap, or if you have a heating cap, that'd be really cool. But if you don't, cool. A shower cap, then a bonnet on top, and then maybe you could tie something at the edges just to seal it so there can be enough heat. This heat will help your pores open up a bit. So when you apply the moisture, it goes in relatively easier, right? So you'd use the same LOC method in sections also, but you'd use less oil and less cream because your hair is in high porosity hair. So it doesn't need as much oils and butters and creams like high porosity hair requires. And I didn't say this when I was talking about the high porosity hair. When you moisturize your hair, you moisturize your scalp and also the ends of your hair. Yes, because they all need moisture. Yes, your scalp needs so much more moisture because it's the root, but it's also good to give your hair moisture. Also, make sure to massage your hair. Now, for low porosity girls, yes, your hair takes so much more time to absorb moisture. I know how you guys feel. Actually, I don't. I have high porosity hair. Yes, I forgot to mention this. For the medium porosity girls, you can wear your shower cap. You can wear the shower cap, the bonnet, and also the small scarf that you tie at the edges for 15 minutes. Then you apply the moisture. Then when you are done applying everything, you put on the same thing. You put on the shower cap, the bonnet, and the scarf again for another 15 minutes. So it can really permeate your hair. Now for low porosity girls, since your own pores are quite small, you do the same thing, but you wear your own for 30 minutes before you apply your moisture, right? Yeah, so you'd wear it for 30 minutes and then you do the same liquid oils and creams. Now you need even less oil than the medium and high porosity girls because your hair doesn't really like oils. It causes build up, right? So don't even use shea butter. You can use liquid. You can use your conditioner because your hair really likes liquids, water products. Yes, so you can use liquid, you can use conditioner, then you can use a little oil and a little cream. The reason for this oil and cream is because if you just put liquids like oil, like water and conditioner, it will dry up really quickly. It's water, but the oil seal the moisture, right? Because you can't just put oil in your hair without the liquid. You're going to dry your scalp out more. Many people don't know this. When you ask them, "Oh, do you moisturize your hair?" They're like, "Oh, I use cream," but that's not enough. When you put oil on a dry substance, it gets drier. We can all see this from when we fry things, right? So when you fry a dry substance, it gets dry. So if you put oil on your dry scalp, it's going to dry out even more. So you have to put liquids first, and then the oil seals the liquids. After you wear the shower cap and the scarf for 30 minutes, you moisturize your hair. Then you put it on again so it can permeate your hair properly. Make sure to massage it into your hair and your scalp. Massage it properly. Give a lot of time to massage. Also, do it in sections. Now, I'll be telling you how to know your hair porosity, how to identify it. So, there are different kinds of porosity tests. There is the strand test, there is the spray bottle test, there is also the cup test, and others. You can make more research on the types of porosity tests, but I'll just be focusing on these three. I actually did only one to find out my hair porosity, and that was the strand test. So usually I'll put a strand of my hair from different parts of my hair inside a cup of water, and then I would watch it sink to the bottom, but I didn't know what it meant. Now I know what it means, right? So you get a cup of water and you put, your hair has to be clean, like there has to be no product in it. So because if there are products in it, it could sink to the bottom even if you have low porosity hair, because it will make the hair heavy. So you have to do it after washing your hair. Take a cup of water and take strands of hair from different parts of your hair and you place it into the cup. You don't have to cut a lot, please. Just few strands, put it into the cup of water. So if it stays up, if it doesn't even bother sinking, just stays up, then you know you have low porosity hair. If it goes into the middle, then you know you have medium porosity hair. But if it sinks to the bottom, then you know you have high porosity hair. For the strand test, you can run your hand down your strands. If you run your hand down one of the strands of your hair and you see that it's really smooth, then you have low porosity hair. If it's a little bumpy, then you have medium porosity hair. But if it is very bumpy, then you have high porosity hair. The spray bottle test. Get a spray bottle and get like some part of your hair and spray water into it. If you see that the water just goes in immediately, you have high porosity hair. But if it stays on it, you have low porosity hair. But if it stays on it for a little while then goes in, you have medium porosity hair. And then there's another test that they mentioned, that is checking how fast your hair dries. So wash your hair and time how long it air dries, how long it takes to air dry. If it takes a really long time for it to air dry, then you know you have low porosity hair. If it doesn't take too much time, or just a little time for hair to air dry, then you have medium porosity hair. But then if it dries like in a short time, maybe in an hour, you know you have high porosity hair in an hour 30 minutes. That's one of the perks of low porosity hair. It actually retains moisture when you moisturize it. So you could do yours twice a week at different times, anytime you are free, but don't do it. So guys, I just explained hair porosity to you in the simplest way I could think of for now, and I really hope you understood it. I really hope you'd find out your hair porosity, because some people say they don't know their hair porosity and their hair is growing properly. That is really nice, but I think if you knew your hair porosity, your hair will grow even more properly. Yeah, so you need to know your hair porosity to know how you're going to take care of it, to know the kind of product it will require and the product it doesn't require. Like I said, high porosity loves butters. If you aren't using butter, you're not really doing your hair much favor. Same goes for low porosity that doesn't really love butters. I had to discover my hair porosity before I was able to know how to take care of my hair, before I could see results. Take the test, find out your hair porosity. You can put this in the comments below when you found it out, and then take care of your hair likewise. This moisturization is very important. People be like, oh, I don't have time, oh this. You need to have time for anything that you want to see progress in. I'm very sure all of you know this. You need to give your hair time to actually see the growth and to see its progress. Do not forget to massage your hair properly. Like I said, it helps blood flow that promotes hair growth. Don't leave your hair dry. I just gave you how to moisturize your hair for different types of porosity, so you don't have to leave your hair dry, because dry hair will constantly break. And I'm going to be talking about length retention in our next video, because what I'm about to say now is in it's related to the length retention. Moisturizing your hair helps you to retain length. I will speak further on this in the next video. I hope you guys finally get to know your hair porosity, and I hope you throw away laziness and take care of your hair, because this channel is only for people that are ready to take care of their hair and ready to see sustainable hair growth. See you guys in my next videos. Bye.